Hey guys, what's up? MadSeason here, back with another video for you. Recently, I covered the demon invasions and their potential for XP. Since then though, it got some major changes, so I thought it was worth revisiting. Basically how this used to work is that you would just AFK in an invasion site and receive a massive amount of XP from the stage completion bonus. They ended up nerfing the stage XP, but they also buffed the amount of XP you get from killing enemies. So the basic idea here is just to go around tagging everything in sight, and you'll rack up some massive XP. There are some XP buffs you can get for this. You have 55% from full heirlooms including the rings. You also have 20% from the Potion of Accelerated Learning, which you get from your Garrison Quartermaster for 100 garrison resources. So that's only available for level 90s and up. We have 2 XP potions, the Elixir of Ancient Knowledge and the Elixir of the Rapid Mind. They each give you 300% increased XP and they stack additively for a total of 600%. You get the Elixir of the Rapid Mind from garrison missions or the auction house, and you get the Elixir of Ancient Knowledge from a rare spawn Crawl the Blade in the Dread Wastes in Pandaria, or from the partially digested bag from Nagrand. If you need more information about these elixirs, I'll have some links in the description that you may find handy. And if you really want to get crazy, you can use the 300% boost from Recruit a Friend, and if you're a monk, you can get a daily quest from the Peak of Serenity that gives you a plus 50% XP bonus for 1 hour. You get to the peak by using your Zen Pilgrimage spell, and unfortunately it only works for under level 90 because after that it turns into Mastery. Now there are a lot of ways to farm this. My personal favorite and what I think is the fastest is to farm stages 1 and 2 over and over. Both of these stages occur in the main hub area of the zone. For stage 1, your targets are just generic demons. Just run around and take everything you see, being careful not to pull too much to where you may die. Try to put a higher priority on elite mobs because they do give you more XP. For stage 2, some higher ranking demons come down. Usually it's 2 or 3 lieutenants and 1 commander. So try your best to tag every single one because they give massive XP. And I'd advise keeping a pretty big distance because they are capable of one-shotting you, and if you die, you don't get credit. So, once stage 2 concludes, what you want to do is find a nearby inn if there is one and relog. Once you log back in, you'll be back in stage 1 and you basically just repeat this process over and over. Each run typically takes around 3 to 4 minutes to complete, and you generally get around a level, but that depends on your current level. The lower level you are, the quicker it is. Some hubs are more efficient than others. Typically the smaller ones are better because things are much more dense, and in general, I suggest sticking with your faction's hub to avoid getting ganked in PvP. My favorite hub for Alliance is Dun Marag outside of Ironforge, and my favorite one for the Horde is Terran Mill because they're really dense. And there are inns right there so you can quickly log in and out. At the time this video was posted, these invasions are popping up in groups of 3 every 2 hours, so just pick the best one out of those 3. Eventually they'll be ramping up the invasions so you'll get better choices more often. So I did a few runs just using the basic 45% from heirloom since I imagine that's what most people will have, and I went from 89% into level 63 to 44% into level 64, which is really good for 3 minutes of work. I did also test it with 45% heirlooms and 300% from the Elixir of the Rapid Mind. These elixirs last for 15 minutes and typically you can get 4 or 5 runs in before the duration wears off. I stopped at 3 runs. Run 1 took me from 44% into level 64 to 99% into level 65. My second run brought me to 59% into level 67, and my third run brought me to 70% into level 68. The runtime on these did vary because sometimes stage 1 will be nearly completed upon logging in, which necessarily isn't a bad thing by the way because stage 2 seems to be the most efficient so far anyways. Note that I also did these runs as a Death Knight, which isn't the most optimal because they're really slow. If you were to run these as a higher mobility class such as a monk, you'll definitely do way better. And this was also in Westfall, which I think isn't the most optimal invasion since the zone is pretty big. And for some reason the inn isn't a rested area so you can't log off quickly. Once you have flying, it may be worth trying out stage 3. Personally, I think the stage 1 and 2 farm is the fastest, but if you have the fastest speed trained and you're flying around tagging all of those bosses, it isn't bad. Also another tip, to reset instead of logging in and out, you can also just realm hop. This is hit or miss though because sometimes it's hard to find a group with the right stage and you run the risk of hopping into a PvP server and getting ganked, which is especially bad if you're using those elixirs. If you're on a PvP server though and you want to switch to a PvE one, this may be a good option. And one last thing I should mention is that you should get some caches from completing these stages. You get a green one from stage 2 and a blue one from stage 4. If you want, you can hang on to these and wait until you're level 100 to open them for a full eye level 700 set to start you off for Legion. But I guess that's pretty much it. Take advantage of this while you can because it's really good right now. Keep in mind that this may change later on down the line. It's pretty volatile because they've been changing it pretty much every day. I'll try to keep everything as updated as I can with annotations and whatnot, so make sure you have those enabled. Anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. Give it a like if you liked it, and if you really liked it, let me know in the comments and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, good luck, and peace.